Hello. At 12:56 p.m. on October 16th, 2022, a 911 dispatcher received an unusual call. There was no voice on the other end, just faint, muffled sounds like MMPH, resembling stifled screams. The dispatcher asked, "What are you reporting? What do you need help with?" The sounds were too quiet to gather any clear information, but the dispatcher instinctively sensed it was a woman. Her voice strained as if her mouth was blocked, preventing her from speaking. The dispatcher continued, "All right, I'll help you right now. Hang on a moment. Do you know your location?" Suddenly, the call picked up odd noises, jarring thuds, and urgent tapping, suggesting a struggle. Using digital analysis, the dispatcher traced the signal's source and relayed the coordinates. After getting a response, they contacted the nearest police to investigate. Soon after, the sounds on the line weakened until they faded completely. Though the call remained connected, it went silent. This story unfolds in Lai Lai, a small suburban town on the outskirts of Washington State in Western America. Known for its coastal plains and easy access to federal highways, Lai Lai offers residents a peaceful, healthy, and happy life. In this town lived a couple. The husband, Checky Hong, 53, and his wife, Dong Suc Hong, 42. They had 2 children, a 20-year-old daughter and an 11-year-old son. The family had called Lai Lai home for 4 years, settling into a quiet, unremarkable neighborhood. But life isn't always calm and serene, and people would be fortunate if it stayed free of upheaval. In the summer of 2022, family tensions boiled over, prompting Dong Suc to file for divorce. The couple separated, with Checky moving out while the divorce proceedings began. Dong Suc stayed in the house with their kids, and Checky occasionally visited to do laundry and spend time with them. Around 12:30 p.m. on October 16th, 2022, Dong Suc and the children returned from church to find Checky's car parked in the driveway. This wasn't unusual. He often stopped by on Sundays to wash clothes and play with the kids. Compared to their daily interactions before the split, this arrangement felt like an improvement. That day, they could also discuss the divorce. But as the kids stepped inside, barely greeting their father, Dong Suc sent them to the supermarket. What followed was a heated exchange between the couple. Neither would budge on dividing their assets, and the argument escalated. Checky, losing control, shouted, "Even if I die, I'll never give you a dime." Dong Suc fumed at his words, but brushed them off. After years together, she was used to such outbursts. Tired of the fight, she demanded he leave. Exhausted, she headed upstairs to change, unaware that Checky had followed her into the bedroom. Catching her off guard, he attacked from behind, taping her mouth, blindfolding her, and binding her hands and feet. After restraining her, he left the room briefly. How could a man snap like this? Was he drunk or deranged? What did he want? These questions swirled in Dong Suc's terrified mind as panic set in. In her fear, she remembered the Apple Watch on her wrist. Frantically, she sent an emergency alert to a friend and her eldest daughter while dialing 911. The very call that opened this story. Unable to speak, her mouth sealed shut with tape, and her limbs tied, she could only hope for a chance to survive. Alone in the room, Dong Suc thrashed and struggled, desperate to signal for help. Luckily, police were dispatched, but just then, Checky returned. Neighbor surveillance footage captured him dragging Dong Suc downstairs from the bedroom. Spotting the watch still connected to 911, he panicked. Realizing he had to act fast, he ripped it off, smashed it with a hammer, and struck her wrist several times. He then forced her to swallow an unknown drug, stuffed her into the car trunk, and drove off. The footage showed police arriving at the house just as Checky's speeding truck brushed past them. Focused on another urgent task, the officers didn't stop him. Checky escaped the neighborhood, heading toward the mountains, while police reached the Hong residence. Unsure if it was a robbery, abduction, or murder, they approached the front door, shouting, "Lacey Police Department. If you're inside, let us know." Their call stirred the neighbors' dogs into a barking frenzy. Inside, they found the shattered Apple Watch on the floor, still linked to 911. The house was empty, front door and garage wide open, no signs of a struggle. Moments later, the kids returned from the store, stunned to see police swarming their home, their parents gone. A sinking feeling took hold. After talking with the eldest daughter, she revealed that half an hour earlier, their mother had sent them shopping, saying she needed to speak with their father. Shortly after, she received an urgent alert from Dong SUC. On their way back, she'd seen her father's truck speed by. Further investigation uncovered a history of domestic violence reports against Cheki, with Dong SUC once holding a protective order, later revoked by the court. Police canvassed neighbors, collecting more footage, and realized the speeding truck they'd passed was Cheki's. They launched a citywide manhunt and issued an arrest warrant. 11 kilometers from town, in a remote forest unlikely to draw visitors, Cheki stopped. Once a loving couple, their bond had soured into hatred. Scanning the wilderness, he found a spot he liked, a shallow, grave-like ditch. Dong SUC, dazed from the drug, felt the car halt. Before she could react, Cheki yanked her out. A sharp pain pierced her chest as he stabbed her with a knife, jolting her senses awake. She vaguely saw him digging as the sun set, the sky darkening. The hole grew larger. Bound and gagged, she could only listen to the shovel's rhythmic scrape. Soon, Cheki dragged her into the pit and began piling dirt over her. Assuming the drug and stab wounds had incapacitated her, he believed she couldn't escape. Buried alive, she'd suffocate. But Dong SUC was still alert. Knowing escape was impossible with her limbs tied, she felt each shovelful hit her body and face. She tilted her head slightly to keep dirt from her nose, a subtle move Cheki missed. When the digging paused, the weight of the earth pressed down. She sensed him stomping the soil, then adding a heavy log he'd prepared. Satisfied, he returned to his truck. Buried beneath, Dong SUC clung to shallow breaths of thin air. Hearing the engine start, she began to fight. First, she wriggled her hands free from the tape, then tore it from her eyes, mouth, and ankles. The process took an agonizing hour, her chest wound throbbing, but she ignored the pain. Slowly, she clawed upward through the soil. Breaking the surface, she spotted Cheki's truck nearby, its windows fogged, interior lights casting an eerie glow, the only illumination in the darkness. Fear gripped her, but she knew her injuries couldn't wait. With a final burst of strength, she shoved the log aside, climbed out, and fled in the opposite direction. After 20 to 30 minutes of stumbling, she reached a house. It was 12:52 a.m. Without hesitation, she banged on the door and poured out her story to the startled residents. Covered in dirt and grime, she was met with kindness. They called the police. Hiding behind their shed until officers arrived, she emerged only after confirming their identity, pleading, "My husband tried to kill me. Help me. He's still out there in the woods." Seeing the dirt, bruises, and tape residue on her, the police believed her. They cleaned her wounds and rushed her to a hospital. Mapping her ordeal, it stretched from her home to the burial site to the house where she sought refuge. At 7:38 a.m. on October 17th, a passerby spotted Cheki's suspicious green truck near Statman Road, matching the police's search description, and reported it. Thurston and Lacey County Police swooped in, arresting Cheki within 44 minutes. Physically and mentally sound, he faced charges of attempted murder, kidnapping, and first-degree assault. On October 18th, 2022, Cheki was detained at Thurston County Jail, awaiting trial. Police found the burial pit near Statman Road, 1.65 meters long, 0.76 meters wide, and 0.48 meters deep, containing tape, blood, hair, and watch fragments. Prosecutors charged him with first-degree attempted murder, domestic violence, kidnapping, assault, and first-degree harassment, requesting no bail. Dong SUC hired a private lawyer, begging, "Don't let him out. I fear for my life. If he's freed, he'll come back to kill me." Cheki's defense argued for a $150,000 bail, citing his 30-year career as a U.S. Intelligence Bureau veteran with no prior record, suggesting job-related stress as a factor. But this fueled Dong SUC's dread. She knew his intelligence background made him dangerously capable. The court denied bail, and the case remains ongoing, though Dong Suc narrowly escaped death and resumed daily life, shopping and prepping Halloween for her kids. The trauma lingers beyond physical scars. Her brush with death left an indelible mark. Reflecting on the case, Checky's calculated ruthlessness is chilling, while Dong Suc's desperate 911 call turned her into her own savior, adding a thrilling twist. When danger strikes, staying calm and using what's at hand can make all the difference. Trust in life. There's beauty waiting beyond the storm. That's today's story. See you next time. Goodbye. From a criminal psychology lens, Checky Hong's actions reveal a volatile mix of rage and control, hallmarks of an escalating domestic abuser. His history of violence suggests a pattern of dominance, likely rooted in a need to punish perceived betrayal. Here, Dong Suc's divorce filing. The premeditated burial, paired with methodical steps like taping and drugging, points to a cold, dissociative state, not a spontaneous outburst, aligning with traits of a calculating offender. His intelligence background may have honed this precision, amplifying his threat. Dong Suc's survival reflects extraordinary resilience under extreme duress. Her use of the Apple Watch amid panic showcases adaptive problem-solving, a rare clarity often suppressed in victims by terror or learned helplessness. Checky's failure to ensure her death, despite his training, hints at overconfidence or emotional chaos clouding his judgment. This case underscores how domestic violence can spiral into lethal intent when power dynamics fracture, and it highlights the critical role of technology in modern survival narratives. For victims, her story is a testament to fighting back, even when hope seems buried.